What's the flavor? What's the flavor? What's the flavor? What's the flavor? Cup watching you a peeping time. Nosy neighbor, nosy neighbor. What's the flavor? What's the flavor? What's the flavor? What's the flavor? Cup watching you a peeping time. Nosy neighbor, nosy neighbor. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, yeah, they be all in my soul. Why you always in the mix with it? And you ain't help me mix, did you? My table is full, can't eat with you fools. Now you can't even sit with us, let alone have a sit with us. Now you can't even hit this one. Simple and plain, can tell by your frame that you don't get the big picture. That boy that here a soft drink, that mean they got some with them. Listen, this a A and B conversation. See, they all on my D in my conversation. Pockets on E, F that. Me against you, that's a mismatch. Get a disrespect, I'm a lit match. Game is it, so I treat it like it's pit patch. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, yeah, they be all in my soul. You must got me mixed up. Wait, it must be a mix up. She said I'm a stiff drink. And well, you a mix one. I'm the type to mix business with pleasure. I love getting money, we just go together. My homeboy, he got a dope wrist. Your girlfriend, we call her Blowfish. Since you all in my fridge, I ain't lost the interest. All at your crib and I do it again. Boy, I don't play, unless I play to win. I hit your girl once and I'm gone in the win. You thirsty, boy, power up. Don't invite it while you show up. Oh, you want a taste of the good life? Somebody tell that boy to grow up, grow up. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, and they help me stir it. They be y'all in my Kool-Aid, in my Kool-Aid, yeah, they be all in my soul. They be all in my mix, all in my mix, all in my mix. They be all in my mix, all in my mix, all in my mix. They be all in my kitchen, I mean in my business. They say they're hungry but won't do the dishes. Don't pay them no mind, don't pay them no dishes. Good, pay me to pay them for business. They be all in my mix, all in my kitchen. They be y'all in my mix. They be y'all in my mix.
DFBBs.
Yeah. All work, no play, boy. Now that I'm booming, yeah. All I know is money, 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 money. All I know is money, 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 money. All I know is money, 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 money. All I know is money, 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 money. All I know is money. So ATM, so ATM, addicted to the money. I'm so ATM, so ATM, I'm so ATM, and I be feeling fucked. Yeah, I can't help myself. So ATM, so ATM, addicted to the money. I'm so ATM, so ATM, I'm so ATM, and I be feeling fucked. Yeah, I can't help myself. Being ATM, that my MO. I was going through withdrawing, I was Bruno. Now I'm booming stupid. That money calling, it just be calling me. Like I'm Pookie, I'm so addicted to it. I can't live without it. Like Master P with my cheese, cause they know I'm about it. And I be salad dressing, lettuce falling on my pockets. Paper cuts all on my thighs, all I make is deposits. So ATM. So ATM, or did it to the money. I'm so ATM. So ATM. I'm so ATM, and I be feeling for them. Yeah, I can't help myself. So ATM, so ATM, or did it to the money. I'm so ATM, so ATM. I'm so ATM, and I be feeling for them. Yeah, I can't help myself. All I know is it paper. If I don't know nothing else, I've been down before, but now top shelf and this cash on the no credit check. Look, all I know is these haters. Better wake up. I know some broke comments that'll ride on you for the low. Like a mega bus, I need my paper straight on the paper plate, cause it's half full of my paper cup and my elevator keep going up. I'm prepped time, so don't interrupt. My girl say she need a bag. That's a pocketbook, a couple bands in my pants. I told her, look, girl, that's a pocketbook. Money. If I don't know about nothing, I know money. If I don't know about nothing, I know money. If I don't know about nothing, they looking stupid. If I don't know about nothing, man. Trust me, I know about money. I know money. So ATM. So ATM, or did it to the money. I'm so ATM, so ATM. I'm so ATM, and I be feeling for them. Yeah, I can't help myself. So ATM, so ATM, or did it to the money. I'm so ATM, so ATM. I'm so ATM, and I be feeling for them. Yeah, I can't help myself. I'm feeding for that money, crazy. I'm feeding for that money.
All right.
Yeah.
94 feet and beyond. We are back in the building.
It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
It seems like it's been
20 years.
Yes. And it's just been such a busy fall.
Yeah.
So
conditioning.
This is conditioning.
We had to do our conditioning.
Yes, and we still got a little bit, lifting to do.
Yeah, I still got to work on stuff. I got to work on my left.
Yes, we're gonna get
finishing on the left side.
Get your left good. Work on your defense.
Yeah, I gotta do my defensive slides.
Get low.
Get low.
Put your arms out wide.
Get big.
Yes.
See.
Anyhow,
like we just think the show. We know what it is. We know what it is out there.
Yes.
So they think we just in here talking about it.
Yes, we try and get our team together.
Definitely got to get our team together.
And
hey,
that's my child's calling me.
We only as strong as our bench.
Exactly.
No fall offs.
Let me tell her she calling the wrong time. She need to be watching the show.
See
what I'm saying?
That's how we do though. It's about the kids.
It's about the kids. So,
talk about it.
Let's talk about some basketball news.
Man,
it's so much going on that I just don't know where to begin.
Let's start at the top.
Let's start at the top.
The elite level that every kid strives to make it to tonight.
We're going to say middle school side. No, we're talking about the league.
The league
is going down today. Game 5.
You know, this
Who
is
you got?
This is
so you got on that them Lynx colors.
I don't know, I did we did have a poll though. I'll say that. We posted a poll on Twitter and the results came back today, and it was a 60% for the Sparks. So,
of course,
definitely a lot
they're
of
going with the defending champions. I'm always for the underdog. I don't know. They in Minnesota.
Fouls.
They're in there.
Brunson.
The game's been real close.
Yes.
It's been anybody's ball game.
Those have been some great competitive, and this is one of the finals where if you watching, it seemed like every basket is major.
Right. every basket. If you miss one, it's kind of like put you behind.
Yeah, and that's what I've been really liking, watching with my youngest. So I'm trying to get her tuned in to make sure she understands, and it's been great because I sit back and I'm watching the game, but I'm watching her. So she's like getting into it, and I'm like, wow,
right? Okay, see,
and she's
that's when they need to be watching it, because unfortunately, a lot of the girls don't. They don't know.
You gotta, you have to. If you inspire to play at a high level, you definitely should be watching, because it's so many small nuances to the game that you see at that level, and the way they play, it looks like everybody's moving in slow motion, but it's just like men's side. Everybody looks like they're moving in slow motion, but you got to know that they moving at a
very fast pace. Right. They are.
And every move is at its best.
Yeah.
Shots, I mean,
they play strong defense up under that basket. It ain't no,
and emotion.
Everything got to be worked. You got to work for every shot.
I will say I love to see Candace Parker as far as her emotions in the game. That's you can see the passion as far as when she's playing. I mean, not just scoring, but defense.
Yeah,
when she gets a block.
She's a very great overall player.
Yeah, she
do it all.
One of those hard to guard players where outside
you don't
inside,
know what she's gonna do. Right.
She's a big mismatch. So I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Yes, that's why we got to get home.
Yes.
What time the game start? 8 p.m.
8. So
on ESPN.
We're gonna be moving through this show.
We're gonna move. We're gonna get home. We're gonna watch that game. And I don't know. I love Maya Moore.
MVP.
So, that's
what you're going with. But what about Waylon? She plays strong.
Yes. I mean, I appreciate all of the women. So I don't have really a favorite team. But again,
rooting for the underdog.
Yeah, and it really ain't no underdog, but it it would be considered the underdog because they didn't win last year.
So.
And they right back here again. So maybe they can do it this year, like the Cavs.
There you go.
The Warriors.
All right, that's what they said.
Yes. What do you think about that? How you think that's gonna go? How that's gonna play? You
the
Cavs fan?
Cavs and the Warriors. I'm just a basketball fan. So
how you think that's gonna go with D Wade and Isaiah? You think they got enough?
Honestly, I don't think they have enough because of the youth. Now, if this was Wade 8-10 years ago, yeah.
Dang, you putting back.
But I'm just saying, as far as health,
at least give him 5 years.
Health,
at least 3.
That's like D Rose. I mean, phenomenal in the beginning, but
he's phenomenal every time he touched the floor, but he's just not on the floor enough.
Exactly. And that's where I see it going wrong. Now, if you had some youth to bring in,
well, they get the first round pick for
but that ain't gonna help them this year.
Yeah.
Once they run, well, hopefully they'll slide through the East. But then you gotta okay. Let me get to the Cavs real quick. So my thing is that they need youth so that they can give their older players a little bit of rest, so they'll be ready during the playoffs and in the series.
Right
now, looking on the other side, as far as the West, man, every night. Top tier games, nowhere where you go, Minnesota, OKC, even the Lakers, Portland.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, man.
So that might wear them down, though.
That might, but they might just be such dogs when they really come to
because they had to play hard every night.
So it's like, oh, this ain't
really, I guess it could go either way.
Yeah, you can only hope that they,
as long as they stay healthy.
Injuries might cripple a couple people, but they have so many teams. I think the bottom teams in the West could come over to the East and be pretty much in the top.
Right. So what you think Kyrie gonna do over there?
I think Kyrie is going to put up the best numbers of his career.
Think so?
I think so. I think he's gonna get a chance to shine. he was the man in Cleveland before LeBron came back. But it was just that when LeBron comes back, it's LeBron's team. And if you look during the playoffs, he really stepped up when nobody else was playing.
Mm-hmm.
No JR, Shump, Kevin Love,
right,
Corver. Nobody was in there. Nobody showed up except for him and LeBron.
Right.
And he hit a couple of clutch baskets.
He sure
did.
Keep
them in there as far as where they were at.
Yeah, he did.
So to me,
and unfortunately, he didn't get the recognition. But he definitely was a lot of the reason.
Yeah.
They did so well.
And then, reason why they won the title.
But I don't know about the numbers, though, because I feel like those were some great numbers.
Yeah, it definitely was. I think.
I mean, does he have some help? Who out there?
He's got I think they just signed from what is it, Utah? Oh man, what's his name? He played at I want to say he played for Butler or Wichita State. Man, he's like white chocolate out there. I can't think of his name right now, but he signed too. They both came over.
Oh, okay.
So he'll have a little bit of help, but they'll make a little bit of noise. But my thing is that first game, I think he's gonna try to drop 40.
Mm-hmm.
Because who's gonna guard him? As far as you can't put LeBron on him.
Mm-mm.
And I don't see anybody else. I don't see D Rose being able to keep up with him. Maybe for a little bit. Is
D Rose gonna play?
Exactly. How's the knees? That's the
his body is just probably just not equipped for basketball. It seems like
injuries, man.
But on a great day,
when all the stars line up together, it'll be a good first game though. I think it'll be a real good first game.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I will say, I didn't like the way that he left. As far as not telling LeBron and not notifying the team of what he was trying to do, I think you could have been a little more professional. And
well, how we know he didn't?
Well, he said he did. When he had his interview, they asked him, he was like, "Did you tell LeBron what you was trying to do?" He said, "No." He was like, "Well, did you inform the team?" He's like, "No." So you started moving on your own accord just because. So to me, it's like.
But you know what? I'm gonna tell you. So, in that question, when you ready to leave your job, you talk to people about it. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm about to leave, y'all. I'm telling you, like,
when you about to leave, here's about 2 week notice.
I'm leave. but you know what?
Talk about
you probably know beforehand,
and I'm sure they knew.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So and saying that, that's what I'm saying. Like there was signs, I'm sure, things that happened that we don't know about that made them be like, you know what, he mad.
Or feeling like you little brother.
Yeah. Right. And I'm sure he done said something to somebody about how he was feeling. Cause you don't just, you don't just keep all that in. So I'm sure that I'm sure they knew. I'm sure they knew. And as far as him, I mean, they won a championship, against all odds. People didn't think that they could do it.
Yep.
And so at that point, it's just like, like how everybody was mad when LeBron left. I was just like, that was he wanted to go, win a ring, and he didn't have the cash to do it. And,
the first move when he went to Miami,
who wants to just stay in the position?
Communication, though, again, to me. If they would have,
but I mean, he came out and told him, but he was, he asked for help. He was like, "I need you to help. This is my goal."
That's totally on them to me, because they should have been like, "Okay, we're gonna give you what you need to succeed, because this is the mission."
So all them little leaks of things that there was not things in, there was problems in paradise from way back when. It was problems. A lot of that news sometimes, the fake news got some real points to it.
Definitely. Every lie holds a bit of truth.
Yep. So I'm sure they knew.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
on to the backside of the girls' side.
How about before we get to the girls' side, let's just talk about all sides.
Shoot.
The NCAA stuff that's going on right now.
Man.
If you've been
under a rock.
That's what I was getting ready to say. If you've been living under a rock and you haven't been watching news, because sometimes I don't like to watch the news because
it's depressing.
Things that people that come on the news, I just can't deal with. Anyhow, if you have not been watching the news, there was an arrest. What was that, last week? Or was it been a week or so ago?
I think it was last
they arrested 10 people.
Yep.
There's a big thing going on with, right now with Adidas. They were talking about the Adidas reps. I guess from what I understand in a nutshell, basically, Adidas reps were paying schools to an AAU coaches or whatever.
That's never happened before.
to direct the path of kids, so that they can pretty much wear their gear and they, making money off of it. And, I guess it's been a couple of years. They was under investigation. They get all this video and all this footage where they was recordings. So it's getting ready to get real ugly real fast.
It really is.
Because now they're investigating Nike and Under Armour. And now, not saying that it don't happen on the girl side, because I'm sure there's things that, that trickles down into the girl side. But there's not really a whole lot of money being made off of the girls. So it's more so, focus on the guys. But I'm sure that at some point, it'll all come out on the table, because FBI is involved. It's
federal.
It's a big, it's a big deal.
And to speak on that point, I believe as far as on the girl side, anything that's transpiring like that, I don't think it's to that magnitude.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's almost like the way they say they don't want to pay the athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To a point, I can understand that because you're giving them a free education.
Mm-hmm.
For some, if you top tier. But how much money are you making off of this athlete?
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't this athlete? Now, this is part of where I kind of agree with the Ball family. He's making sure that his kids are going to be okay. They're eating. He gave them a shoe. So
right.
Now, why wouldn't you be able to put something in there for these athletes to where if they go to a signing, they get a percentage of that? So where's the harm in that?
So that way, that just, they don't have to do that. I mean, right. I'm sure there'll always be people out there that's greedy and trying to do more. And I know they get to stifle money and they get this, that, and the other, but for the amount of money that they bring in for people to come out to see them play, the jerseys, all of that stuff, I mean, it's a lot. Now, I have mixed emotions about it. Yes, you're getting a free education, which is very expensive, but then you think, why is it so high? Why is it so expensive to go to school?
Because there's some 40-year-olds
good grief
still have student loans.
Me.
See? And people don't believe it. A lot of people don't believe it. Some of you kids listen to your
excuse me, I'm not 40. Not
28.
Really, 32 or, in that range. But yes.
See, a lot of
and the money that it cost me, I'll probably be paying forever.
And it's great to have the education, but when we stress the kids, put your work in so that you can get this scholarship. Right. This is why, because talk to your parents, they will tell you these bills will hold you back for the rest of your life. They'll hold you down. It's like a weight.
Right. If you can graduate college with no debt, You are 10 years ahead of the game.
Yes, 10 years easy, and you would definitely understand it more if you accomplish it, and then you have a friend that's not so fortunate. They'll be able to show you and express to you their pains of paying for this student loan as they work in their field that they went to school for, but they still may have that loan.
And honestly, a lot of times you don't even work in the field you go to school for.
That's true.
I'm going to go with, I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm going to say that it's probably more people that's not working in their field that is.
60-40.
Probably more than that.
You may be right.
Sometimes you pay and you go to school and you do all this stuff, and then you realize, okay, in order for me to get into this field now, I got to do X, Y, and Z. I got to do this internship. I got to go back, get my master's. I go back now. I want to be, So then
it's a lot,
because I went to school originally for sports and fitness management. I work for the bank.
Still making the bank.
And, so, I went back for psychology, and I still work for the bank.
See, still making that bank.
Well.
So look, with what you're saying, do you believe it's best for some kids to go into school without a major, undecided?
Yes. I think that if you go in school and you don't try to force yourself into something that you think you want to do, because at age 18, by the time I was 25, that was not something that, that I was doing. I mean, I worked I did, I was a personal trainer for a while. I worked in the gyms, had a little studio. I did all of that. Unfortunately, I got hurt, had a couple back surgeries, and then that part of my career was over. By the time I was like, older.
Right. I'm with you.
Anyhow, I changed my major 3 times, which is the reason why I paid more money than I needed to, because I had to change my major, which means you are in school longer because it's almost like you're starting over. So if you get all your basic education courses out of the way, then you start, just really, see if you can shadow, or, you can always put down your desires. A lot of times, this is what I believe, that, we are such a society where we tell kids, be a doctor, be a lawyer, go do this, these are the places where you make money. And a lot of times we don't tell them to channel what it is that they love and get paid for it that way.
Right.
And I think that, a lot of times parents will tell you, oh, that's a hobby, or don't do that. You can't do that and be successful. And then they go to school with these, this in mind, oh, I want to be a physical therapist, or I want to be this, that, or, whatever. But like, I spoke to my child who was saying that she wanted to do physical therapy at first. Then she was saying she wanted to do like athletic training, like an athletic director or something, or athletic training. And so I said, so you like wrapping ankles? I mean, that's not all that they do.
Right.
But you have to put it in that perspective. Like, these are the things that they do. It's not what it sounds like it is. And you're looking at, who makes more, this, that, and the other. But is this something that you're going to do completely and with everything you have because you enjoy it?
Right.
So, I try to, let them know, like, I say, if you want to coach, or if you want to train, if you want to do this stuff, say that you want to do that.
It's okay.
If that's what you desire to do, there's something out there that will be catered. There's a degree out there that can be catered to what you know that you would do almost that you would do for free.
Yep.
And then I think that's when you do better in school.
Yeah,
when you choose something that you love, not just choosing something because you think it sounds good.
Or for the money, because sometimes money ain't gonna make you happy.
Right, and then you may not make that money.
That's true.
It say you gonna make that money, but who, where you living at? Where they making that money at?
Mm-hmm.
So you definitely want to go in and be like, let me get all the basic classes out of the way, and then you go into your major. And from going on these college visits and stuff, that's what some of the advisors have been saying. Like, you don't have to select a major coming into college, because at 16, 17 years old, you don't know what you want to do forever.
Yeah.
Not all the time. I mean, some people do, and they do it, and that's great. But I'm going to say that a lot of times, if you do that, you set yourself up.
Right. So definitely choose wisely, but make sure you have those core classes. And a lot of kids, I believe, are benefiting from taking these early college classes.
Yes.
So that they
I was getting ready to say, if you can take them in high school, that's even better. Then I'll give you a little bit more time, because sometimes, like again with me, I was in school longer than I wanted to be because I changed my major, and then now I got to start over, and that money I had to pay.
Right.
And so, you want to make sure that you choose wisely what you want to do.
Yeah.
So what's going on around the city?
Let's see. As far as some of the updates on things that's happening in Columbus and Ohio, period, I believe this week, I think it's the 8th.
It's so quiet.
Blue Star is having their event in Dayton. So for all our Dayton listeners and viewers, if you want to get on the Blue Star radar, or you want to just get you some work in, definitely go and check that out. That was posted on our page. If you need some further information on that. And the OGBR.
Yes.
Taking their show on the road, training, and I believe that they are in the Cleveland, Akron area this weekend.
Yes.
And I believe that is it's the 6th and the 7th, maybe
the 7th.
7th. Okay. So for all our Cleveland, Akron listeners, definitely go check.
Go get them skills and drills for tryouts. Is coming up real fast. I don't know when everybody's tryouts. I've been seeing some people saying that their tryouts is this week.
Really?
Yes.
They on the ball.
Our tryouts is until the 27th of October. But basketball season is heading into that direction.
Yes, it is.
It's about to be on and popping.
Man. It's gonna be some great games.
Okay, yeah. And then they got the Journey to the Tourney. It's gonna be at Lakota West. This is next month, November 25th and 26th. And we got all of the great teams coming out. It's gonna be some great games going on in Lakota West.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one too. So let's see. And I believe that the
Twitter feed. Twitter time.
Talking about some of these Twitter people.
Yes. Twitter time. Let's see who's on Twitter. Talking basketball news.
Definitely want to. Before we go to that, I believe Buckeye Impact is starting their fall event again session coming up I believe that'll be on the page later too. So
okay,
want to get some training with them.
Definitely some good stuff going on in Ohio.
Work.
Let me see. So the training camp for USA just wrapped up, and I didn't know what, I wasn't for sure if it was for a tryout for the USA team. So I didn't know if they already had their team or not. Do you know?
I'm not sure. That's what I thought it was, though. I thought they were.
Well, the way that they was talking, it was just a training camp, and it's more so just to prepare the girls for, to compete, in the Olympics.
Really?
You know what? I've been going down my Twitter and I've been seeing a lot of 2018 commits.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think that maybe we can start giving love to those to those girls that are committing to schools and where they're going. I see right at the top of my Twitter. Our caller's calling in, so we'll try to get back to that.
Cool.
94 feet and beyond. Who we have on the line?
This is Coach Terry Tolliver.
Hello, Coach Terry Tolliver. How are you?
All right. How you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So we're glad to have you calling in this evening, and good to hear from you. Can you hear us okay?
Yes, I hear you just fine.
Okay, great.
Wow.
So for our listeners and our watchers, go on and tell us who you are. Give them a little bit of information about yourself.
Okay, no problem. This is Terry Tolliver. Kids call me Coach T, Coach Tolly, Coach Tolliver. I'm representing Dayton, Ohio. Been on the girls' side for 20 plus years.
Okay.
As a head coach at 3 different high schools: London High School, Emmanuel Christian High School, and Xenia High School. And been doing AAU basketball since 1996.
Oh, wow.
All on the girls' side, all in the Dayton area. And as of now, I am the assistant coach at Trotwood Madison High School on the boys' side.
Okay.
It's a resume right there.
That's a resume. Definitely.
That's definitely a resume.
That's definitely somebody who knows what they doing and what they looking at and been in the game for a while.
Yes.
And so
yes.
I would say I would deem you an expert.
Yes.
Everybody's an expert.
I don't know about all that, but
no, this is what I say. People say they experts and they ain't never played or they've only been doing it for so long, and people are labeled as experts. But anybody that's been in the game that long, you didn't see. That's a lifetime.
You've seen it all.
Most of the kids that we deal with right now wasn't even born.
Right.
So
no doubt. They don't get it. This is pre-social media.
Oh,
this
gosh.
is pre-training with 1,000 cones.
Right.
This is pre-cell phone. This is just strictly grind.
Right. Out on the blacktop.
I was about to say it wasn't even grassroots. It was dirt.
Right.
It was dirt, man. It was get your water hose out and water the dirt.
Right.
We're gonna make this game.
They had their Converses on. Didn't nobody have indoor, outdoor basketball shoes?
No pair. Referees.
Right.
To have a gym. We didn't need no coaches. We just went and hooped.
Right.
No water breaks.
Right. Right.
Man.
That's definitely throwback. That's where I come from.
Yes. And that's why I say that. That's exactly why I said deem you an expert, because anybody has been doing anything over 20 years.
Definitely.
Yes.
And still doing it, then they know a little bit of something.
Well, also just more importantly, not just doing it for so long, but also putting your own family aside for the greater good of other kids.
Right.
You know, people forget about us coaches, that we do have a family of our own, and that our family is missing us at home as well.
Yeah.
So,
that's probably the biggest sacrifice.
That is.
Yes.
That is.
Yes.
And they probably feel like they can, you need to be available.
Right.
At all times of the day or night.
Yeah. Definitely a shout out to, when I say that, shout out to my guy, Will McKinney and JB. Them are my guys.
Yes. Those is two sacrificers as well. I definitely will say. So,
yes, ma'am.
Yes. So,
were you? My question is, were you born in Dayton? Are you originally from the area?
I was born in Springfield, but I moved to Buffalo, New York when I was like 5 or 6, and I came back to Springfield, Ohio when I was 16 or 17. So I live in Springfield, but a lot of what I do is Dayton area based. So, Springfield's not as big as Dayton, obviously. So a lot of our kids, or the kids that I've worked with, more recently, like over the last 10 years, has been predominantly Dayton area kids. And when I say Dayton area, I just don't mean like Dayton Public. I mean like Centervilles, your Dayton Carrolls, your Beaver Creeks, your Xenias, your Wayne High School, your Alter, and so on and so forth. So it's just not Springfield. It's just not, basically just Dayton, but it's pretty much Montgomery County and Clark County.
So I'm gonna give you the mystical song. You a man round chair.
The man right chair. That's right. That's right.
So did you play?
I played in high school at Springfield South. I played at Clark State Community College for like a year, but that's pretty much it. I went to Central State Upward Bound when I was younger, and one of the professors there kind of identified me when I was helping like some of our guys that were playing basketball, and said that you were going to be a coach and you're going to be a good one. So I kind of figured out when I was 19 years old what I wanted to do.
See, that's good. We were just talking about that.
Yeah. And I believe it's a gift to know what your worth is, or what you're intended to do on this earth. So I knew at a young age that my gift was coaching.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the fact that you stuck through it, I know you've probably seen so many highs and lows.
Definitely seen a lot of highs and lows. The AAU circuit is a lot different now than it was just 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Shoot, it's different from what it was 3-4 years ago. Last month, my child started playing when she was in the 3rd grade, and it's just so much as it's just such a, I don't even know. It gets exhausting just trying to keep up with everything, and I think a lot of it comes from too, like you said, the social media part. That just have people all, I think making decisions that probably they wouldn't make had they not been so much.
It's coming down to who do you trust, and and to me, my biggest problem is becoming a cash cow. That's the biggest problem to me. You see so many guys, and no disrespect to anybody, but I'm starting to see so many guys come out of nowhere with a pen and a pad, and now all of a sudden, or they develop a Twitter page or a Facebook page, and now they're experts. I mean, that kills me. I mean, where'd you come from?
Right.
Exactly. And a lot of parents are looking for someone to validate if their kid is good or bad. So they'll take anybody's opinion now.
Yep.
So everybody has an opinion.
Yep.
And to me, I think that's a detriment. It's starting to be a detriment on the girls' side. To me, it's starting to be watered down a little bit. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah. Right. And we talk about that a lot, we talk about how just the way that they talk about the girls as though they are chess pieces. That's what the analogy I always use, as though they're not people. And, they talk about them, oh, so-and-so is better than so-and-so, and she can do this and that. And this one ain't no good. And, and these kids is on Twitter and everything else, and they're reading this and they're thinking, you know, it just is becoming it's a game, and it's taking a lot of the fun out of it sometimes, I think.
He say, she say.
You know, just, you know, like you said, the people with the pen and pad that don't really know, and then they talk about one girl that they ain't never seen play against somebody that they ain't never. It's just, you know, it's just a lot.
Well, it's a lot of retweeting, so to speak. So you know, somebody might say something about a girl who may have seen them, and then you'll get another guy who will retweet it and put a comment like, they've been in the gym watching this kid, you've never seen her play.
Never seen her play.
Know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you get kids who don't have the opportunity to get out there and be on a platform.
Right.
Who are pretty good basketball players who are not getting seen.
Yeah.
You're getting kids whose parents are spending money who are necessarily can't play. And you're getting tweeted about and they're getting ranked and
exactly. And that's the thing too. Like, you know, I mean, like I said, we talk about the rankings, and, you know, even, you know, I talk to my child about it, and it's just like, it don't mean anything, because one thing is you always got to play with 4 girls on the court. So no matter how great you may think you are, you still have to play with 4 girls on the court, and you got to be able to play. That's what makes you great to me, is if you can play with other players and y'all can win, or, you know, just be able to compete. So, and it just frustrates me how they take girls out of the game. Like, they take them off of the court from the team.
Playing, from the team aspect.
Yeah. And one girl can't win. You can't win no games by yourself unless you playing one-on-one.
Yeah. Well, and it's the training phenomenon. So, you know, like I'm starting to learn it, because I train kids too, but I'm starting to see that there's a lot of kids who look good in cone drills. And but when you, like you said, you go 5-on-5, they can't play a lick.
Right.
The cone ain't moving.
Right.
Now the cones is moving.
Like, wait a minute. I gotta get around the person.
The cone is stronger than it was yesterday.
Yeah. So you know, you see a lot of that, but I think some of it is there's been an influence on less play and more training. So let's say a lot of AAU teams, or a lot of guys who train or whatever, who have a voice, they're telling AAU teams or players that you need to not play as many games to train.
Yeah.
Where I think there needs to be a happy medium, because kids are not playing as much no more. Let alone, like we talked about earlier in the conversation, where kids were, when we were growing up, we were going to the park. You know, we were going to the backyard. Well, with these kids, if they're not playing AAU basketball, if they're not playing with the high school, quote unquote, organized basketball, they're not playing.
Right. And that was one of the other things we just talked about. So what do you think about LeVar Ball talking about taking his kid out of the school to train instead of playing his senior year? Are you gonna take him out to his junior year?
Yeah, junior year. Next 2 years.
Yeah. I think I don't even know how to comment on LeVar. I think it's on one end of the spectrum. I think it's a circus. On the other end, I get it, because the bottom line is there's the word called exploitation.
Yeah.
And a lot of our kids, the top players, are being exploited. That's what's going on in the NCAA right now. Our kids are getting exploited.
That was the next question.
Right. So I get it, but taking his kid out is harming his child.
Yeah, that's what I was
He needs
thinking.
to play.
Yes.
Yeah, but LeVar,
and not just for him, not just AAU for him.
Right. But Mr. Ball wants to be in control.
But you see what you know. I don't know if you watched the shows, because you know I have 2 takes on him. You know, originally I was, you know, just disgusted. Like, you know what he's doing? That's just too much. And so I watched the shows, and it kind of gave me a softer side for him, and maybe because I seen him with his wife. However, you know, the stuff that happened to his wife, you know, she had the stroke and, you know, what have you. Right. But he won't let nobody come in and help her. He said he gonna get her better. And my thing is, are you
certified,
yeah.
qualified.
I mean, is there?
Right.
I mean, do you have all the keys to get her better than somebody that's an expert, or somebody that went to school, or somebody that knows a little bit more about it? And I was just thinking that, you know, he has some type of outside issues or something. I don't
unless he slept with a Days Inn and he got that feeling where you know.
He's a different cat altogether.
He definitely is.
Yeah, but I get it with the whole exploitation thing. I mean, the bottom line is when you get kids of that caliber, they're going to get exploited by the shoe companies anyway. So he figures, I'm going to take the shoes.
Yeah,
I'm taking the middle guy.
That makes sense now that we, you know, see that NCAA stuff going on.
Yes.
Shoot, he's like, I might as well make the money. Forget giving them the money.
Yeah. Cut the middleman,
right?
The top man.
Right. Just keep that money in their pocket.
That's right.
Yes.
Now he looking like the smart guy.
Right. Yeah. He really is.
But you know, unfortunately, on the girl side, obviously there's not a lot of money involved to that degree, but you still have parents like a LeVar who acts a fool and be controlling and manipulating with their kids.
Yeah.
And there's no money involved.
So
it's just a control issue.
You see girls jumping from team to team within the season.
Do you hear
out
me?
of the season?
Exactly.
You know, and that's one of the reasons why I got out of it, because it just began to be too much for me.
Yes.
I'm not going to chase kids around and call them on the phone, and I'm not a college recruiter. I'm not getting paid.
Right.
So has that part of the game changed in the AAU to where you now have to be a recruiter to get kids to the programs?
You have to be a top-notch recruiter. It's 24 hours a day now. It's social media. It's getting on the phone. It's going to their games. You know, you go to a high school game now, whether it's girls or boys, and you look in the front row, it's AAU coaches.
Right.
And so if you're not
scouting your players.
Right. So if you're not giving a kid a certain amount of attention, and she or she is getting it from another club, you're going to lose that kid.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing to me is the word is, you know, the hot song with loyalty.
Right. That's what I was getting ready to say. There's no loyalty.
There's no loyalty.
And I just don't even that is a whole days of topic of conversation.
Talk about it.
Because hey, if you got me on the phone, we can talk about it.
Right. Listen,
there it is. That's what we're here for.
Right.
Unleash the beast.
I'm gonna tell you, you know, I'm trying to be politically correct.
We're not correct on this show. That's the premise.
I've been trying to be politically correct.
We uncensored, unbiased.
But I will say this, you know, I see a lot of the kids, and you know, especially when the parents aren't really involved as much. Sometimes even when they are, but sometimes when they're not, you know, it's almost like this is what it reminds me of. Do you remember Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yes.
Yeah.
The when the guy was going around and whispering to all the kids and was trying to get them to sneak the chocolate, chocolate recipe, give them the recipe or what have you.
Yes.
That's what it feels like. Like everybody is smiling in everybody's face, and then going behind them and whispering in their ear, like, you know, well, I can offer you this, I can do this, we can do that.
Yep.
And what does that teach our
kids? What are you teaching the kids?
Because what I'm seeing is it's converting to transfer rates in college.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, let's start middle school, high school, college rate. You know, and so it's teaching it's teaching the kids that if you just don't like where you at, even if and you can like it, but maybe you know somebody told you that that somebody got something better for you. You will never learn to fight through anything.
Nope.
You can just up and leave in a second. Right. And that right there, to me, you know, you can't trust nobody. You can't trust nobody, and you can't be trusted, because now you have the mentality that, well, I didn't get what I wanted over there, and they said they'll offer me this over here, so I'm leaving. And then you wonder why, one, they don't learn to build relationships with people, which you have to do
because you taught them to leave.
You don't know how to communicate because you don't have to communicate because you can leave.
You can go.
Yep. You know, it equates to so many things in life that are not good. Sometimes everything ain't gonna go your way. You have to learn how to figure out what it is. Yeah, I mean, I can see if it was just all bad. That's different. If you're in a bad situation, you need to leave.
You have to learn what is all bad and what is just a hard situation.
Yeah, when I'm saying it was bad from the beginning to the end. However, if you do not figure out, these girls, I've seen so much because my husband coached. He coached boys, for 19 years. Then coaching the girls as with my child, she's 16, but she's been playing since she was 5. She started out with, some girls and they were all had the same goal. And then that's when people start coming. Oh yeah, you ain't gonna never play in that position. So you need to come and play with us.
That's probably the hardest
part. And then
it
just all falls apart. And then not only do it all fall apart, sometimes it ruins the kids' friendships.
Parents too.
And they don't understand that. And they, because their parents is at home saying one thing, oh yeah, you ain't gonna play, you gonna play over here. And then they don't know how to be a friend.
That's that. If you're not with me, you against me.
Right.
Oh, definitely. To me, AAU is all about, like you said, the friendships, developing social skills, which is
exactly.
Learning how to be with kids of different races, different financial backgrounds.
Right.
I mean, AAU could be a good thing, but it's so negative and it's so like you can't trust it. It's more of a grind than it's fun. And that's what I've seen over the last 10 years. I've seen on both sides, high school and AAU, is we've lost a lot of good coaches due to those reasons. They got out. For those reasons. Like you said, there's a rapid number of kids in college transferring. It's ridiculous.
It is crazy. The transfer rate is crazy.
I tell kids, you didn't know that you were going to be getting up at 5 a.m. and running.
Exactly.
And tutoring and study table. You didn't know that?
Exactly.
Well, they didn't tell me that. You're lying. That's what I tell them. You're lying.
Right.
So you didn't hear what you wanted to hear. Or they're not bathing you and throwing that red carpet to get you.
Right.
It's over.
That carpet ends. There is definitely the red carpet roll ends.
Yeah.
And then it's a brick road.
But to my point is you have to constantly, with these kids, have the red carpet out.
Right.
Constantly.
And if your child do not go to either a high school or go through an AU program that prepares them as far as like those things, like they really have a work ethic and they really have to work hard, then they just think they taking their talent and they can just go and, some kids show up for practice, don't show up for practice. It's a whole different world once they get to college, and they, if they're not learning that in high school, then it's going to be bad.
Right. But, on a positive side, with social media and, all these different places you can go to get ranked. I think the platform is bigger and the opportunity for kids to get to college is a lot bigger than when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see people taking advantage of it. But then there's people who are getting rich off of those trying to get in school.
Right.
So, like I said, you start to see, if you look on Twitter, there's so many different guys, ranking this and ranking that, and people
they just popping up like flies, like
they're popping up.
They are.
It's got to be a system.
Who's this new people? Right.
It's got to be a system.
I'm about to start me a Twitter. I'm about to start me one that has.
You're gonna have your own.
I'm about to
ranking them at 3.
Ranking them right. I'll be like the 3-year-old. She ran, she outran everybody, athletic. And she can bounce the ball. I think she's she ranked number 5.
Athletic 3-year-old,
right?
40
class of
20,
30, 70,
20, 28. I
don't even know. Right.
Say the mom ain't even had the baby yet.
Right.
Your baby ran.
Just hold this ball up to your stomach and we're gonna put a picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what's funny is the irony of it is I know my guy Will McKinney, he had open gym at Afrocentric, which he hosts all the time, but I think it was his first or second one. It was a Sunday morning,
right?
And like 9 in the morning. I'm pretty sure you guys heard about it. And there were like 20 coaches there. 15 of them ranked in the top 25 in the country, and there had to be 50 kids there. But the key thing was it was free.
It was free,
man.
It was free.
Exactly.
Nobody got that because I tweeted it was free.
Yes.
I
was there.
Surprised somebody didn't try to block your tweet.
See.
The new thing here, don't at me, man. Don't at me.
See.
There you go.
Yes, I was there actually on that day.
Oh, were you?
Yes.
Was it amazing?
Yeah, it was. I mean, literally, they was in the parking lot.
That go back to your dirt roots when the coaches came in and it was free.
It was free. Yeah, I can go to the park for free, man. Yeah.
But not only that, he had donuts and fruit.
He was taking care of everybody.
Orange juice. And for the appearance for us.
That's what I'm saying. Taking care of everybody.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was cool, but definitely
when you got a kid like Jordan, I mean, they're going to be there.
I got you. I'm with you. Hey, look, I'm with you when you write. She ain't gonna say that, but I got you. I'm with you. I'm over here. I got my pen out. I'm co-signing. Say it again.
Right.
For the people in the back.
We had Lex in the building,
and they got a lot. They definitely have a lot of talent over there. That is for sure.
Yeah.
So continue.
But he does. He really has a heart, though. He has a heart for those kids, and he do have a heart for getting those kids in school. He don't care where they go to school, but he gets his girls
putting them in the right position to succeed.
Yeah, to be successful. And then it's just what you do because, he always tell them accountability is first and, being responsible. Your talent is last. So
there it is.
So, but
it's a sight to see our kids, the city kids, getting an opportunity.
Yes.
To see 50, 60 kids of our kids, to me, is just it's a blessing. And Will, like I said, I've been knowing Will a long time, and he started from ground zero when Afrocentric. They I think they started off with a JV team.
Yeah.
To see 5 state championships later.
Yeah.
So, but hey,
to
each his own. Yeah. His own.
And it's paying him back is what he's doing. So, when you have a heart for it, like he said, he don't have no hobbies. He just like to be in the gym. So he gonna always have his gym open.
Yeah, that's
right.
So Coach T, like you said, with McKinney starting with the JV side, what got you onto the girls side?
Actually, I want to say in '96, I was coaching middle school boys basketball in Springfield called Hayward Middle School. I was coaching the boys, and we had a pretty good season. And the following season, I was going to coach that same team. But what typically happens is it was a teacher who wanted the job. He took my team, and then the principal was like, well, we need a coach for the girls. So I took the girls team. There were 7th graders at the time, and my first cousin was on the team. And I'll never forget our first game. We played Beaver Creek Middle School, and I won't lie to you, we got beat something like 65-6.
Oh no!
I'll never forget that. I said, "Is that serious on the girls' side?"
Right? Yeah. Not in middle school. In middle school, wow.
Oh man! Yeah. So what I did was that following spring and summer, I took my girls, that 7th grade team, and we did still work, pre like I said, pre-Twitter and pre-social media, pre-cones and stuff, and we just did hard work in the gym. And the following season, we played that same team, and we maybe lost by 20 or something like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you
they didn't expect that.
No distractions, you saying?
No, none. No distractions. Not at all. There was none. There was none. Only distraction was you had a quarter to go use the payphone. That's about it.
Right.
No cell phones.
I need to call my mom.
Yeah. And so from there, I got involved with the Dayton Lady Hoop Stars. I started getting involved with that program and just seeing that, wow, I can't believe that the girls' side has kids that can play at this level. You know, no wonder why some of our kids are, you know, getting beat like the way they are, because these girls at the Centervilles and the Beaver Creeks and CJ, they playing. They're playing in the spring and summer. And our kids knew nothing about it. Not didn't either.
Yeah.
You know, so I've been to the Hoop Stars. I was around when there was only 2 AAU programs in Ohio. Dayton Lady Hoop Stars in all Ohio. That was it.
Okay.
That was pretty much it. But at one time, it was only Dayton Lady Hoop Stars. So you had girls coming from Cleveland and Columbus. Barbara Turner,
we played them all the time when we was hoopsters.
Coming to the Hoop Stars. So that's why I always give props to the Hoop Stars, because they're pretty much the start of grassroots basketball in Ohio.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
But we used to play them when my husband and coached over at the Ohio Lady Hoopsters.
Okay.
It was always a battle. They was always good. Definitely.
Okay. Yeah. And they got a good program, the Ohio Lady Hoopsters. That was started by my guy Eddie Geis, right?
Yep.
Yeah. I remember Eddie. I remember going to hoop tournaments at Ohio State. Yeah, I knew Eddie very well.
Yes, he was a great guy. Great guy.
Oh yeah. And their program's still strong.
Yep.
Yeah. Definitely is.
Yeah, that's where it seemed like all the girls, they kind of get their foot in the door.
That's funny though, because when you were saying that you when you saw the game, you were like, I didn't know it was that serious on the girls' side. I hear that from a lot of parents that just start getting into the game, and a lot of them don't know about AAU. So once they get out and see the circuit, they like, oh man, we weren't ready for this. I didn't know it was this serious. I thought it was just something to do during the season.
Weekend,
Right.
They didn't know about the traveling and everything. It's like, whoa, it's a whole new world.
It's expensive. Oh yeah,
it is
expensive. You know, one of my best friends who helped me with my program, his son plays for University of Dayton. He'll be a junior this year, and he always tells our parents that when his sons play AAU, he probably spent, you know, from spring all the way until, you know, August 1st, he probably spent about $6,000-7,000.
Yeah.
So, you know, so if you go through I don't know, let's say 3-4 year span, you probably spend $28,000-30,000 or less on your kid, but the payoff is $100,000 scholarship.
Right.
You go.
Exactly.
You know, I tell parents, you do the numbers.
Yeah.
You know,
those are the numbers that I'll take.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely. So yeah, like I said, from the Hoop Stars to started my own program, which is called We Got Next. We've been around.
Like that.
Next spring will be 4 years. So you guys got She Got Next, right? Got next.
Right. Yeah. We family. We family. I tell everybody y'all my cousin.
Right.
That's my cousin then.
I seen you guys pop up, I don't know, it was a year or so ago. I said, wait a minute, trying to take my
name. Hey, I be telling people, they be like, We Got Next or She Got Next. I'm like, oh no, that's my man in Dayton. That's We Got Next.
Right. And you know, it's funny that we were talking about when we were growing up and playing, that's where I got it from. So when you had winners, we like, We Got Next.
Right.
That's where I got it from. That's how it started.
That's kind of how we got it, because it's the girl side. Like, hey, She Got Next. You got a lot of dudes out there. One girl, all the fellas that say, oh man, She Got Next.
Right. So like I said, we've been fortunate for going in 4 years, and our first year we started off with a bang. You know, we've fortunate for a first year program, we've been able to maintain 16 every year. Okay. And I want to say my last year's group, who are now freshmen in college, my team that came up with me for 2-3 years, which was 12 of them, 11 of them out of that 12-man roster got some type of financial aid, whether it was full or partial, to play college basketball.
That's excellent. Right. And that's what it's about.
Oh, yeah. And that's exactly, whether it's, to me, it doesn't matter what level of college. Right. It's getting an opportunity to be better educated for yourself. And basketball paved the way. So, I don't get caught up in that Division I, Division II. And that plays a lot into it, too, where, some guys that are recruiting your kids and say, well, he or she only getting kids in D2. I'll get you in D1, which is a lie. Right. Your talent's going to get you
like
in
if
Division
you a
basketball.
D2 player going to a D1 school, you are a practice player. That's what one of the coaches told us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, we've been blessed. Going to year 4, I've left the program in good hands with 2 people that have been with me long before we start the journey with our program with We Got Next. So, for me, it's just, 1996. People don't understand it, but, I don't owe anybody an explanation as to why I stepped away from it. It was just time. It's just.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
People don't talk about why they leave their jobs. So that's
right.
Well, let me tell you what happened.
Right.
Like what?
Remember Jean from the break room?
Right.
She ate my lunch.
Right.
That was it.
Yeah. And I literally, we was just talking about stuff like that. I was like, I'm trying to retire. I was like,
just gotta see.
If I can stay here, they're gonna give me Social Security.
Right. So did you get your AAU pension?
No, I get no AAU pension. Hey, you know what? That's a good one. I never brought that up. Like, I don't get no pension for AAU.
Right.
I got more years than AAU, and I'm doing my job.
See, right. That's what you got to start.
When they start giving you pension, then that's when you'll stay.
Exactly.
That's when you gotta explain.
Coaches got to start telling these parents that.
Right. Can y'all pay into my Social Security fund, please?
And the thing about it, what's funny is when you're coaching the kids, their parent is your buddy for however long you're with them.
Right.
And then if they decide to go or graduate, you don't ever hear from them again.
Nothing. They don't even call you for the signing now.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You just look on Twitter, they done signed.
Right. Like, where my even turn on the TV, they playing. Like, what?
Right.
When did that go down?
I was telling my kids, look, if you get a chance to go to school, just give me a hat or a T-shirt, please.
I know. Good grief. Can you get a ticket to come see them play?
Right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's the thing. We're in a right now world, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah.
And after right now, it's over.
Takers and no givers.
What have you done for me lately?
Right, Jay.
No, it ain't even lately. It's right now.
Yeah,
it's right now.
Yeah. I know you did something for me last week, and it was great. But today,
it was great.
Right now,
what did you do?
Right. And it's sad. It's sad. It's just like
it's sad.
They messing these kids up. I'll tell you what though, Coach T, I'm gonna get my AAU teams together, and I'm gonna start something new. I'm gonna have a 401k and a retirement plan for my coaches. So I might be able to get you out of retirement.
Right.
I appreciate that.
And for all the kids that go to school, you get at least
get a bonus.
Look, one of their lunch vouchers.
Right, you get 3 swipes.
Right.
3 swipes, man. You right. 3 swipes, man.
See, I'll take 3 swipes right now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, and look, since you've been in the game since '96, we just gonna grandfather you in.
Right. You just gonna everybody gotta work around.
So long ago, man.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Man,
good Lord.
Because my daughter in college, my oldest daughter's in college, and shoot, she is born in '98.
Oh wow!
So I'm just like, that was
right.
And she grown
before her.
That's what I'm saying. That's a whole lifetime, and she was something else. I'm telling you.
Man. Oh yeah.
So
right, so I got a question. How would you? Now this should be good. Don't spin us on this. Give us the truth now. Mm-hmm. How would you describe your coaching style?
Tough love.
Oh, there you go.
Just I give you real, uncut. Tell you where you are. Tell you where you need to be. You know, I'll tell the kids you ain't that good. I don't know who told you were.
Yeah,
you got some work to do.
Yes, they need to be told.
I've always been, and why a lot of kids like me is because I coach the girls like they're guys. I mean, you're an athlete. I'm not going to coach you like a girl. You know, so I'm gonna get on you. I'm gonna yell at you. I'm gonna love you.
Well, you are coaching them like a girl. Look, I got a problem. You're coaching them like a person.
A basketball player.
Boy, I've had this discussion with a female before. I just said you're right.
You're coaching them like a person. See,
athlete,
yeah, there you go. I'll take an athlete because that's the divide we have. And this is why we made us want to start the show for girls, is because we don't get as much, as the boys get. It's automatic. No. Just which we're gonna touch on here in just a second. So I'm gonna ask you what you think about that NCAA stuff. But before that. The divide of being an athlete is just being a male. And I just feel like sometimes that's the mentality that the world have. And that's the reason why the girls don't have
the contracts,
not even a pea in a bottle amount of money that the men make on the men's side.
It's not even close.
Not even a I don't know, zero on the dollar. That's what it's like.
Well, our girls have to be able to survive financially. Yeah. The women have to either A, go play overseas,
right,
and B, come back and coach at their alma mater. That's where they make their money at. And it's funny you say that because my coworkers at work, we were talking the other day. We were talking about Russell Westbrook's contract. And, it's a little over 200 million or something like that. He's literally making $463,000 a game.
That's crazy.
That's
game.
Insane.
Wow. Just give me one game check.
Just one. And that's all they need. Yeah, just one game. And they give that money to the girls. Just one game.
No, I said, hey,
per player.
1 out of 82, man. Give me one check, please.
Just one.
Right.
And I'm going to retire for life.
Exactly. Right.
See, that's the lotto, man.
Right. That's exactly what that is. But on the flip side, crazy.
The women are I think the top contract may be a little over 100,000.
Yep.
And you're talking somebody like Diana Taurasi.
Right.
Sue Bird and girls like that are making 100,000, 150,000.
Exactly.
You got these guys making astronomical numbers. That's why the women go play for Russia and they don't play during WNBA season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brittany Griner, those guys, they went over in Russia and played.
Yeah. There's people over in France and Peterson. She over in where'd she go to?
Is she in France?
Italy? I think she said she was going to Italy.
I just seen somebody that was.
She was talking about it. They asked her if she was going overseas.
Turkey. Somebody.
Yeah, no. I can't remember if she said Italy. I can't remember where she said she was going, but I know that
I told you
she actually she just got out there.
I could fix that if they let me though. I told you I had a whole thing planned out as far as the men and the women. Each team in the state take the top salary from the men and give about 10 or 15% of that top player's salary to the women's side, and you could pay for that whole roster. But they don't want to listen to me.
It's all
there
about
has to be a better way, a better solution, or we're going to lose the women's side.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It seems like it's getting better, but it's still a very slow process. It's very slow.
You would have thought over this last 20 years to the WNBA, that it would have made a bigger stride as far as the contracts on both sides, because they're playing at the same arenas, So
and they playing just as hard, just as fast. They work just as.
What's the whole? Where's the? You would think the sponsors that it should be a way that the NBA, if they are the big brother, that they would look out and be like, okay, well, listen, let's take this much from a sponsor, or let's put this into the women's side, because that's part of our family. That's just an extension of who we are. Because you see some of the the NBA players at the WNBA games,
right?
So it's not that they don't support; it's just that the financial support,
they ain't giving them their money.
Yeah, I'll let you come in, but you can't eat.
Well, and I've said this, you know, a few times in conversation about the girls' side. Now that I'm on the boys' side, and what I've come to realize is, on the girls' side, you have to be really a true fan of the girls' game to appreciate it. You can't be an average fan, because the average fan is not going to appreciate the game like we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why you see an average fan enjoy the boys' game rather than the girls' game. You know, you have to be a fan of the girls' game to enjoy it and watch it, because your average fan's not going to watch it.
So so that's part of that's one of our questions we usually ask our guests too. What do you see that can be done to enhance the girls' experience, or to bring more viewers to the girls' game?
Well, now that there has been a significant drop in freshman girls basketball teams throughout the state of Ohio, there's a lot of high school teams, if you look at it and research it, that don't have freshman teams. Okay, and
right.
So what some high schools that I've been a part of, they've experimented with having the varsity girls take place of the JV boys. So the varsity girls will play before the varsity boys. Yeah. Therefore, you're getting a crowd. You know what I mean? Because that's the only way you're going to really get a big crowd to come watch the girls' game. You know what I mean? We did that last year here at Trotwood, where we played Thurgood Marshall, and it was a whole day. So it was like the freshman boys played, then the freshman girls played, okay? Then the JV boys played, then the varsity girls played. By the time you got to that game, it's packed.
Yeah,
right.
The varsity boys played right after that. So the girls got to play in a sold-out gym.
Right.
So I think that's how you can increase the fan support of the girls' game.
And see, that's it's funny you said that, because our guest 2 weeks ago, Coach Perrier, he said the same thing. But
Jamie,
yeah,
that's my guy.
Yeah,
talking about a yeller. That guy's a yeller. That's my guy. Hey, that guy. Hey, Jamie coming in. You came with a 3-piece suit on. You got a little slack. That's my guy. Jamie's a pioneer too. I didn't mean to get off subject, but
no, Jamie's
a pioneer. That's my guy.
That's good. That's good that you know him, because that's wild. Because he did say the same thing, and the fact that both of y'all are from the old school, so to speak. I guess that's just the mentality of being in the game so long that you see what it is that really draws the crowds together.
Right. You got to do it.
He also said that it was it's all about economics.
Yep,
yeah,
it is.
So
it is.
But you
like if you live in a suburb and you go to middle school, you go to elementary, middle school, high school, y'all in your neighborhood, everybody's going to come out because they've always been supporting those kids. Those kids go together, they live in that neighborhood, and the city's going to come out and support them. Whereas, for instance, like in Columbus, you know, you get put in the lottery and you got kids from the north side, east side, west side, south side. And those parents, sometimes they don't have the ability to travel to their kids' school because it's way outside of their neighborhood. Yeah. And so
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, I know they was trying to do these feeder schools. That's what they was trying to do in Columbus City schools, where you go to one school and then everybody feeds into the school. But they really couldn't take away the lottery. So even though they feeding into a school, they still may not be in their neighborhood.
See,
so
I wonder if it's because they don't want to lose that little bit of money that they making on this night and then that night, because it's so spread out too, as far as the schools. But to me, you would. It seemed that you would make more money.
I know a lot of them just
or
can't
fund
make it
to when
like
you have
economics.
Everybody playing at the same night. If you have your
Right.
whole roster of kids playing on the same night, it seemed like that would make it easier for the parents, and it would be better for the school.
And it'd be more. I think it'd be more money. I don't know.
I think so.
So in the Columbus City schools, let me know if I'm wrong or right, but if the boys and girls play on the same nights,
Yep.
Well, that's not right. I mean, girls
That's
don't lose
exactly.
every time.
And I know that, for instance, like the Weatherspoons, they twins.
Mm-hmm.
They both play for North, and so the parents have to separate. You know, pick who you want to see tonight. It depends on who they playing. You know,
right.
And so it's just, you know, the boys, when the girls is playing at home, the boys play away.
Yeah.
Well, then also, you know, like I said, I've been on the bus many a times. It creates a divide.
Yep.
You know,
it does.
With the girls and boys. And then more importantly is, I just from my experience, it's hard to get the girls motivated to play when they know the boys is playing. It's sold out.
Right.
They get the game, prettied up, watching the game, having a good time. But now they got to go here where it's 5 people in the stands.
And they don't get to bond at all.
And I think also you have the student body that's pretty much going to go with the boys game.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When
definitely.
Yeah, so you got the girls, even their friends is like, girl, you my girl, but
right.
I'm about to go see Rollo play.
Yeah, exactly. Now you guys may not know this, but in the Dayton area, on when the girls here, they play, I want to say Monday, Wednesdays, or Saturdays. Okay, but their Saturday games are at noon, so the varsity start is at 1:30. JV starts at 12.
Wow.
Well, you and all of us know at 1 o'clock, people are out shopping at the mall and mowing their lawns.
Or just getting up.
Right. Or just like me, just want to get up, you know.
Right.
So they're not at a girls' game.
Right.
I don't think Columbus has Saturday games. I don't think.
Not in city.
Oh,
not
really?
in the city.
Not in the city league. Yeah, no Saturday games.
And that's because they don't want to have nobody in the building.
Right.
That's we have Saturday games, and I tell you what bothers me on the girls' side, what used to bother me was when I was coaching varsity girls basketball, and let's say it was a Friday night or a Wednesday night, and we were practicing. Well, you know, freshman boys games start at 4:30. That's the time they start. So we get kicked off the floor at like 4 o'clock. I'm like, is the Lakers playing or something?
Right.
What you mean? We gotta go. Like, don't wait on us.
Right. They gotta shoot around for 30 minutes.
Right.
Oh yeah. So girls are treated like second fiddle, but it depends on where you are too.
Yeah.
You know there's some big time programs out there like Lakota West and you know the Afrocentrics of the world and Mount Notre Dame. You know who may get treated like the boys do, but it doesn't happen often.
Right.
Not at all.
Exactly.
Not at all.
Yeah, exactly. And even still, as well as, you know, we do Afrocentric, sometimes it's still hard to get people to come out.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was funny. I was watching a video from Sean from Straight Outta Girls Hoops. He had did a Jordan freshman year. They did a video of them versus Ironton.
Okay.
And like he was showing, like, you know, just mixing it in. You can see the crowd. And I mean, Ironton, like the whole section was just filled up. And then he showed our section, and it was like the kids. It was the student section.
Oh yeah.
It was the student section. It was just the students and the band. And it was just like, okay, you know, it's sad.
I see that sometimes when it's the when it's the tournament at the shot.
Yeah, that's where it was at. It was at the shot. So it wasn't like it was just at the school. This is at the Schottenstein Center. This is the game before they won state.
They had a whole towns.
Yes.
It is. I have noticed that, like you said, the
smaller communities,
small towns,
they band together.
You may have more people in your high school than this town has. Right. But every person in this town is
everybody showed up. Everybody bought a ticket and they rode the bus.
Everybody.
They got on the bus and they came on.
They got the grandkids, grandma,
right.
Everybody.
Right.
They got
geared up,
same color shirts on, and
geared up. You hear me?
Hats, buttons,
flags, and
you name it.
Anything.
And noise makers.
So I wanted to kind of change the subject a little bit here. We ain't got that much longer, but I did want to ask you about the NCAA stuff. But this will be a segue into that. So I just seen something that Adrian had posted on from Twitter. So they're talking about making some changes. I don't know if anybody's seen this, the NCAA, about the transfer rules.
Okay.
So according to this, and I'm just going to read it. Look, I might need some glasses. It says the let's see. The most significant change that could be considered this year is 2017-18. This year would eliminate the ability of coaches and schools to restrict aid to student athletes after transferring. Currently, Division I college athletes who wish to transfer to another school must first receive permission from their current school to discuss transfer opportunities with the other schools. If the school denies permission, the student athlete can't receive athletics aid for the first year after transferring. Since the working group is still finalizing specifics, and it plans to ask the council to introduce into legislation that would establish a notification model allowing the student to notify a school that he or she transfer. The student could then pursue transfer opportunities and accept scholarships at other schools. So it sounds like they're trying to stop them from having aid when they transfer. So I'm just wondering if that's saying that they want they'll have to pay while they sit out.
That's what it sounds like to me.
That's what that sounds like. So that sounds like really a whole lot of people not going to school because you sit out a year if you don't have the money to pay.
They're trying to stop transfer.
So that's their way of cutting down transferring.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I don't know if that's going to be the answer. I know the number one thing is, which is always brought up, is the one and done thing. That's really
right. Good grief. Yeah, that's definitely once they open up all this.
Because basketball, think about it now. Basketball is the only professional sport where they have that rule in, where you have to go to college at least 1 year. There's no.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Well, I think football is it 2 years or 3 years before you can declare.
Well, you have to be a certain
entity.
Yeah, I think it's 2.
I'm not for sure.
But to tell a kid that or a family that they cannot pursue their goals and go straight to pros, mainly for financial reasons, then you're going to have what you have now: the shoe companies, the runners, the free agents. They're going to be a mainstay. It'll never change.
It's going to make it worse.
It's going to make it worse. It is.
That's what it sounds like.
And to say that if for whatever reason I decide to transfer, that you're going to hold me accountable by not allowing me to go there and receive any money. That's
right.
That's absurd.
That's the mob. We mobbing you now.
Yeah, that's the mob mentality. So there's really no way to fix it. It's always going to be like this, and people act like that. Now that this came out into the open, like this is just now.
It's new, right?
For decades, man.
Right.
And I just sometimes wish, like, some of these guys that are in the pros making millions of dollars would say, when I was in college or when I was in high school, man, they were giving me money out the wazoo.
Yes, I heard that. Yes.
You know they were.
Who was it? They were. Remember that stuff happened with LeBron? Remember
that? Yes.
And he had to sit out. He ain't the first one. He sure ain't, and wasn't the last.
What's his name? Just said that his roommate was getting paid. Jason Williams.
The
one.
Play for Duke?
Yeah, he played for Duke.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, he had said that it's been online in a couple places. He was like he said something. I was reading it was saying that it was messed up for him to say whatever he said about it, but it's the same thing. I mean, some people been getting paid forever, but it's kind of like what I was saying earlier. How is it okay? Where is it wrong for these guys to get money, but it's not wrong for the universities to make money off of them?
Well, we can go all the way back to our days to the Fab Five. I mean, that's why Chris Webber and them guys don't get along now, because of the one guy that was taking care of them that worked there was at Chrysler in Michigan. He was taking care of those guys, and Chris Webber told on him, basically. You know, and that was what, 93, 94? I mean, 90s, you're getting these five-star recruits. Somebody's getting some money somewhere.
Yes.
I mean, you're seeing kids now like a Michael Porter. You know, he's one of the top players in the country. He didn't go to one of the Blue Bloods. He goes to Missouri.
Right.
Now, how does that happen?
Right. Right. And then what was
he liked the barbecue.
He likes the barbecue. Exactly.
That's what they got to spend it with.
And then the one guy that changed his
commit
at the last minute.
It's probably because they coming back to him like, hey man, remember we got you.
No, he was committed. No, he was committed to somebody else, and then all of a sudden, in June, he was like, "Oh no, I'm going to school here," and it wasn't even.
You talking about the kid that's at Louisville?
Yeah, I tried not to.
Right.
What's that?
Yeah, yes. You hit it. That's the way to be a good guest.
Be political correct. Be politically correct.
No, it's in the news. I mean, it's in the news. We're just talking about the news. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was obvious. You know, all of a sudden you change your commitment to somewhere else, somebody will get paid. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
You owed us.
But like I said, if this guy's allowed to go pro out of high school, you won't have this problem.
Yeah.
And that's why you're starting to see some kids, you know, they opt not to go to college and they go play overseas and get a couple $1 million. And then they declare to go pro.
And then this is the other thing that I think that is bad when you do the one and done, is because that money for that year that you paid for this person to get a year of education could have been spent for somebody that wants to come and stay and be a part of the program and get that money. There's like not, you know, they have so much financial aid out there, and then you have the scholarship money, you know, apply some of that to somebody who wants to stay and get a degree. Right. And it's also making a lot of these schools, their numbers look bad. Like they're graduating, because some of the things that we look at when we, you know, when we're going to the schools and such, to talk about, you know, just trying to narrow things down, make a choice, is what's your graduation rate? And how are you getting these kids through, you know, these classes, making sure that they have the right classes that match up with their schedule, you know, just different things like that. And then when you look at the rates, really, you know, it don't look as well, because you have all these guys, you know, you have a whole daggone roster of guys that went 1 year and was gone. Right. So, and then they may not even make, you know, and then you still got to go to training camp.
Right.
So,
let's see.
I don't know.
We need to bring it over to the women's side. Let them go and start early.
Yeah.
Or let them start and be able to come back and get your education.
Well, they do allow them, like, you know, for instance, you know, one of the schools I was talking to, their person, she didn't graduate on time, but her eligibility was up and she ended up going pro. But they said, you know, she could come back and finish her degree at any time and you know, it's paid for.
They should have that implemented into all schools for athletes, because you just never know.
I think that it kind of is.
Even if you
leave
early,
think people don't talk about it, but I think it is. Yeah, because even someone was telling me about Jared. They was like, he can come back and get his degree.
Oh, that's cool.
So
still pay him. Give him 3 extra swipes.
Right.
You said the 3 swipes?
Yes, we gotta get them 3 swipes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
That's how I see it.
But yeah, that's a whole lot of information that we discussed today.
I got one last question for you though.
Okay.
So I know you've been in the game since '96. How many parents have you had to take behind the woodshed?
You mean how many did I want to take behind the woodshed? One out of every 3.
Mm-hmm.
1 out of every 3. Man.
Do you see it worse on the girl side or on the boy side?
I think it's even. I think it's on both sides.
Wow.
You know, and that's, you know, being a coach and being an educator, it's nobody sees their child, they don't do anything wrong. You know.
That's horrible.
You know, and so we it's kind of like the adage now is you have to have for every negative you have to have 3 or 4 positives, which is crazy to me, but you know, you have to have that kind of mindset right now as a coach and as an educator. But yeah, I want to take a few of them behind the woodshed, but I never have. I can tell you some stories, but yeah, I've experienced some crazy parents. Now I will tell you, I was told by one of my mentors. He told me he just retired from Kitten Ridge High School. He's got over 500 wins, great guy. But he told me my first year with him, he said, Coach Tolliver, I'm gonna tell you right now, the better the player, the crazier the parent. And it's true.
No, look at that. What you looking at me? I ain't crazy.
I'm waiting on it now, baby. I'm waiting on it now.
You know what? That is not the truth.
But that's that 1 out of 3 I was telling you about.
Okay. Yes, it is.
Out of 3, sometimes the parents and you have to find a way to deal with it. You got to find a way to deal with it. Because we always coaches say, well, if he or she don't act accordingly, I'm gonna get rid of them. Yeah, right, coach. That's your best player. You know, right. You ain't gonna get rid of them. You're gonna find a way to deal with that parent.
Yeah.
You know. So, but it's true. 1 out of 3. You know, their parents are wacky.
Yes, I think the reason why I'm not really is because I've been on both sides. You know, my husband coaches, so I done seen parents act crazy with him that make me want to fight them. And then, you know, so you know, I know what it takes.
Right.
You know, and I know what it. You know, I wouldn't want that coach to experience some of the things I've seen. So.
Hey, look, you retired now. You go ahead and put them paws up.
Be like, you remember that one time back in '99?
Right.
Yeah,
you was getting smart. Yeah. This is for that. And go.
Well, you know, I'm retired from AAU, but I still coach high school basketball. It's not as much of a grind as it is with AAU because you got to remember, I'm coming out of high school season and going straight into AAU basketball, and that's a long haul. And then, you know, fortunately, where I'm at, Trotwood High School, we went to the state Final Four last year. So we finished middle of March, and when we got beat by St. Vincent St. Mary in the semifinals.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And so later was AAU trials, so I didn't have a break.
Nope, you didn't.
I didn't have a break, so I said I can't do this no more. So one of the two has to give, and I felt that I just wanted to concentrate on my family and my job, and I love what I'm doing with the high school. So that's my concentration right now.
Well, that's good. Yeah. You know, you gotta get to a point where you gotta pick and choose what's going to be best.
Well, and plus, you know, the bottom line, the wife happy now, so that's what it's really all about.
Happy wife, happy life.
Ooh, your honey to-do list about to pick up, buddy. You got 90 from 96 with a honey to-do list.
See,
I sure do. I was
gonna say, if you've been with her since '96, then
No, I haven't been with her since '96, but we're coming up on our 12th anniversary October 16th. So
okay, well, congratulations.
There you go. I'm glad you got that date right.
Right.
Oh yeah. I got. She might be listening, man. Like,
right. You better get them dates right. Exactly. You better get that right, and you better have something real nice. When's that? Next week?
Right.
Yeah, next week. A couple weeks. Yeah.
Well,
we're what are we? We are 28 days away from the start of high school for boys basketball. The girls start in 3 weeks.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's getting ready to get into the mist.
Oh yeah.
Let the games begin.
Yes, I'm excited.
Man.
I'm really excited because we gonna that's all I'm gonna say.
Right.
It's pretty stacked. We when you was talking about the freshman team, we was going to try to do that, to try to have a freshman team, but there wasn't enough schools out there that they would have been able to play. So
survival of the fittest.
Where do you coach at?
Me? I don't coach.
No, she the one out of the 3 parents.
I'm the one.
I coach from
the stands.
You did,
You know it. You know I'm a coach at heart. They just wouldn't give me the job.
Right. She just don't have the monogram on her shirt.
I'm about to get me a jacket.
Right.
Just like the people get their Twitters and they got their pins and pads. I'm about to give me a coaching shirt.
I heard that.
I'm gonna sit in the stands. As a matter of fact,
sending people in from on the opposite side.
In when they be having those evaluations and stuff, I'm just gonna be put my coaching shirt on, make up a school.
I'm from Southeast High, around the corner.
And you get in the game.
University College.
Right,
exactly. Like, here's my coach's badge.
That's right.
Fake IDs every all the time. So.
Tell them I'm from Where It's At University.
You said Where It's At?
Yes. So I'm not a coach. My husband is a coach, and I just go and support him. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't coach. Okay. I really am a coach, though. I really am in my mind.
Okay. In your mind.
Yes.
You've been around long enough. You kind of should know what's going on.
Yep. I've been there every second of the way. My husband played. So I used to go watch him play. And he played in the midnight basketball leagues and all that stuff after college. Yeah. So I know.
It's going to be on.
Yes.
Well, man, hey, Coach T, we appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I
appreciate it.
Hey, no problem, man. You definitely enjoy that small retirement piece.
Right.
I definitely appreciate it. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Hey, we trying. We're gonna keep trying, man.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. We need many as people as possible that are advocates for girls basketball, girls sports in general. We need it. We definitely need it. I cracked on about the guys with pen and pads, but we need many voices in the eyes on the girls' side to keep it going. Because there's some girls out there with some talent that deserve to have some attention and some love that generates on the boys' side. So
definitely.
I get it.
That's what we're gonna do.
That's what we try to do. Is just keep them relevant.
That's right. So I appreciate you guys' time. I really do.
Yes, we appreciate you calling in, and so enjoy your anniversary and your season.
Yes,
we'll be seeing how y'all doing, Dayton.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
You're welcome.
Take care.
Yeah.
Right,
bye-bye. Bye.
Man. Hey, a lot of information right there. 96.
96. That's
real.
A long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yes.
That's the beginning of grassroots.
Yes. So he, it's funny how, when we talk to different people, and it's the same stuff.
Yep. Hey. It's coming along.
But it's the same things that we talk about. I talk about the people with the pen and the pad. They talk about all these evaluators out there, these experts, these trainers.
The trainers, the crazy parents. So
transfers, all that. It's just so everybody seems like they all in, at least who we have on the show, is pretty much in agreement of a lot of the stuff, that's going on.
They definitely stay in the circle.
Not.
Yeah.
Yes.
We keep learning and seeing a lot of paths that cross. So I think it's girls in a good hand. So
yes,
as long as it keeps growing, I'm hoping that we grow with it,
right,
and see the best out of it, especially with this upcoming season. So
it's gonna be a season. It's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good. I think
a lot of memories about to be made.
Yeah.
So hey, well, listeners and viewers,
yes, and we'll do our scholarship, our commitments that we see, our Twitter commitments.
Yeah,
that's what's gonna be called.
Twitter commitments. Shout them out.
Twitter commitments. We want to say congratulations to Twitter commitment.
Yeah.
So and so.
Twitter commitment central.
Right. Yes, but that's good to see though. I love to see these girls out there getting that money to go to school for free, or whatever it is that they're being offered is something. And that's what it's about.
It definitely is. It's good to see, man. Keep growing, ladies.
Yes.
Keep growing.
Yes. We didn't take a break today, but we had a lot to talk about.
Oh yeah.
I had to toot my gun.
That's because we came back from the conditioning. We ready.
We ready.
We ready.
We don't need breaks.
We the first team. That's right. We ain't got no JV.
We ain't got no JV. We gotta get out there.
We gotta get out there.
Do.
Right.
However, we are gonna go ahead and end because we gotta get home.
Because of the game is coming on.
We gotta watch that game.
So leave us. Go to ESPN.
Go watch. We need the support. Man. Pick a side. Don't pick a side. Just pick
a player.
Pick women's basketball today. Pick women's basketball.
Make the right choice.
It is worth your time. If you're listening to this show, you like women's basketball. Definitely. Go watch and support. Because maybe one day your daughter will be on there playing.
We'll be talking about her
to be talked about. And if we talk about them enough, maybe they'll pay them more.
That's right.
Yes.
Pay us more.
Yes, please. Anyway. Anyhow, so we're going to sign off, and we'll see you next Wednesday.
Deuces.